Hello, Mr. Attila. This is Jordi Tarrega from Barcelona and Yolanda Sabater from Canterbury, both writing for Starway to Rock in Spain. First of all, let me say thank you for this interview and congratulations for your new album, MAYHEM album,
Thank you.
Liturgy of Death. Can we ask you where are you right now?
We are on the tour, in the European tour. We are in Vienna right now, tonight, playing in Vienna.
Oh, nice.
And salute to you guys and the Spanish friends. We had a great show in Madrid, actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are
I think,
gonna talk about that. How is going
sure.
the tour so far?
I think it's going really good. It's very hard though, a lot of work, but it's the most important. It's a lot of people coming. They like the show every night. Almost every night is sell out or close to sell out. So it's going very well. And this is a great package with Marduk and Immolation, I
Hmm.
think.
Are you having in this tour bigger venues? I think you got more crowd. Mm,
Yeah, I think
selling.
it's bigger venues. Like we had like 2,000 people in Utrecht. I think in Barcelona, oh sorry, in Madrid, we had like something like 1,600, which is good for a Sunday night.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's a good crowd for us. And yeah, it's more than normally, more than usually, for sure. So
And
people seems like
sorry,
interested. Yeah, please go ahead.
how is the more or less the average age that you are seeing in the concerts of the public?
Excuse me, once
The
again.
average age,
Oh
how
yeah,
old?
it's interesting. I think there is a lot of young people too, but like we are such an old band now,
Yeah,
so
because of that I ask.
I see sometimes like all generations from our age, which are like mid of 50s, down
Young.
to the young kids to 18. Or I don't know what's the. I had some people wanted to come, but I think there was an age limit; they couldn't come. So like even kids would like to see us. And
Ah,
it's funny, like sometimes we have like here or there, like whole generations, like a grandkid, a father, and a grandpa all
yeah,
mayhem
yeah.
fans. It's really
That's
interesting.
lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your last concert in Madrid. I am in
Hmm.
Barcelona, so it's
Okay.
really sad for me. You couldn't attend at my city. But how did it was that experience in Madrid? You have said that 600 people. I think 600 people.
No, 1,600,
16.
like
1,600.
1,600.
Wow, it's a lot of people in Madrid for a black metal show in Spain, I think.
Yeah, I think it was very good. And well, the crowd was amazing. It's always good to be there. And my experience in Madrid was extra special because I had a little time in the afternoon. I went to the Prado Museum, and it was amazing. I've been there before in the El Prado, or how you call it? You just call it
Yeah, yeah, El
Prado.
Prado, yeah.
Prado?
And yeah, it's super, super amazing. And uh, I mean, I had only 2 hours, and you would need 2 days for that museum at least, I think. But of course, I've seen the basics, Goya, which is one of my favorite, and of course, the Bosch paintings. But there was a bunch of other stuff. And what hit me was very cool. Like, our new album is about that. And I mean, Liturgy of Death from Mayhem. Every song is about that. And today, people like, I think today people try to escape from that theme in our age, so to say. Nobody likes to face with that. But look at Prado Museum. Every second painting was about that. It felt like so amazing. I was so proud, but I'm, of course, nobody compared to those artists. Those paintings are just amazing. But seriously, every second was about that or something miserable thing. Like like Christ is dead, or people are dead, or I don't know, raise the dead, or some execution, or there's some disease, or some old people getting close to death, and there are skulls and stuff. Pretty much like our artwork, like remind me, the museum. It's very, very cool to see.
You are. playing three new songs, Life is a Corpse You Drag, Realm of the Endless Misery, and Weep for Nothing. So
Yes.
how it is working, the new stuff in your shows?
Really good. I think we have really good responses, and we are planning to add another song, Despair, but we just have some technical problems with it. But as soon as we solve that, we would like to add that too, to the set list. That would be great to have that as well. So I think the responses are in general great. People seem like really like our new album. So and I can feel in live too, like we choose those songs because they were already released like singles.
Hmm.
So people had the chance to listen before because this tour basically started a couple of days before even the album was released. So that was like a little bit soon, but luckily these songs been out like singles already online, so people got probably familiar with it. But I think they really like it. So it seems like we have very good responses.
I want to let you know that I asked to our friends in Madrid that are also journalists, and they tend to be really critical, let's say, no? And I asked them how was the concert of Mayhem, and they told me that you are a beast on live. I mean, in a good sense, and you have a lot of charisma. So the opinion was a lot of compliments. So I don't know if you listen this so often.
Oh wow, okay. I like to hear, critics always, but I think even bad critics is very
Hmm.
helpful to hear because then I know where should I focus more, on my performance. But to hear compliments, that's just amazing, of
Of
course.
course.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
By the way, can you
Yeah, I'm
show?
using a lot of elements. I feel it's maybe too much, but apparently not. I use a skull, a cross. I play around with my toys, so to say, with my tools, on stage. But I feel like a show is a ritual, and that these are all part of that to
Absolutely.
make it like more ritualistic atmosphere. The whole thing with the makeup and the new costume and everything. And I mean, music is first. So someone asked me in the other interview, I think, like what I would do if I would lose my costumes on the tour. Of course, I would go on my stage clothes, my street clothes on stage. What can I do? I would be still a show, and I would still give the max as music-wise. But I think all these other elements are very important to make the atmosphere like real, and if you think about rituals, like I'm into ancient civilizations and history, and if you look at like old like Egyptian sculptures or Indian paintings or whatever, everywhere you see makeup
Hmm.
elements, when it comes to ritualistic things, or even you can look at tribes, like even today, they have makeups and stuff. So something it's related. For me, it's natural somehow to do that, and it feels all right, and I think it helps also people to have the right mindset and the right frequency, the right tuning, so to say, to the show.
But I remember years ago a crazy costume. You wear a rabbit costume on stage.
Oh, yeah. But that was the Ordo at KO tour. And that was like every night a different costume. So it was not just, it was just for one night. That was Easter night. We were at Easter, so I thought to be an Easter bunny with the carrots and everything, but it was kind of like a grotesque, dark humor, of course, in it, but also a meaning. Like every night I had a different costume that time on the whole tour. I had to plan everything. I never worked that much actually in my whole life. I had like 3, 4 big bags of costumes for the tour prepared for every night, and there was like so many different characters. Some were like a little bit more ironic, but it always had a meaning. And Easter is like a joke, so I try to make it like that feeling. I don't believe in resurrection actually in that sense, or I don't know. I mean, I have much more peace by the age with the Christ figure. I still don't know if he existed, but let's say yes. But I think say that he came back from death, that's a little bit spicy. Also that he raised the dead. I mean, that is like that one of the most fundamental thing of nature. Imagine if we would not die, the dinos would still walk around here. You know, it's like how many people would be here. So this dimension, this life, this existence is unfortunately once comes here, what's born has to pass away, no matter if you are a tree or a plant or an animal or human or whatever being, everybody has to pass away. I just read today actually by above a tree, which is almost 5,000 years old in California. That's crazy to think about it. It's called the Matusalem tree. It's amazing. Yeah. I love trees, you know, I really want to visit, but they hide it. I just read about it that it's secret, that it's not like they don't want to show because then they want to protect probably tree from the. But there are many, like in the redwoods, I think, or in the sequoia, there are like 1,000 years of old trees. And I saw also once I was traveling in Babylon, in Lebanon, my language, my tongue. In Lebanon, there are the cedar trees, again, like thousands of years old, so amazing creatures, you know. But anyway, even they have to pass away one day, you know. So yeah, it's like that's the whole topic, and like people dream romantic about not dying. Thanks for also the Jesus Christ story, or vampires or whatever. But I don't think that's possible. Maybe there is a small chance. There is a small chance, though. I would give. Maybe there are aliens. You could go with the aliens somewhere else. You know, so another time, maybe you could survive. But I can't. This is maybe too much to say, and I don't trust in that. I don't believe in that. I don't like to believe in anything, actually. I like to experience, and my logical. I have two brain hemispheres, as we all have, but for me, it's very critical. My logic side is very critical to the other side, which is always total spaced out, you know. So I have to somehow find a balance.
But it's true that we interviewed some members of bands that at the beginning they were totally against religion or Catholicism, no, because we are from Europe, is the major religion. And now if you talk with them, like 30 years later, they change the opinion. So they become more spiritual, you know. I'm not in the maybe Jesus Christ sense, but in something.
Yeah, I think it comes with the age. You know, when we were young, we were all more rebel and we just follow the instincts.
Yeah.
By the way, I think the organized Christianity and still very bad. I'm sorry, and people are so ignored. I mean, it's just a brainwash and the mind control. And look at these Abrahamic religions, how many wars they manipulated people. It's none of them talks about like inner way that you should figure out yourself and the individual part. They always talk about that we need them like an institute, and you need a savior, and that Jesus Christ or whoever will save you. I think it's very bad because it puts people in this kind of inferior state, like more like almost like a slave mindset, that they have to be just like, instead of figuring out themselves what to do and how to deal with this whole existence, you know, and look inside and make themselves a better person like that. I think they just believe in a savior, and organized religions are still, I think, very bad, especially ours. So, but, you know, to look into the other side, for instance, I always read a lot, you know, or listening actually audio books now. It's my new thing all the time, and kind of so.
Audiobooks, you say?
Yeah, because I feel better with it. I don't know. It's somehow more comfortable, and I can do it all the time. You know, it's kind of cool. So anyway, I so to say heard about, not read, but it's the same thing about Gnosticism lately a lot. And Gnosticism was ancient Christianity, like Coptic Christianity, like around the 2nd and 3rd century. I think up to the 4th century, when they were completely persecuted and destroyed and killed and murdered and everything. And there was a founding in 40. I don't see actually, was I think it's 45, called El Hamad. Hold on, I tell you what's the name of it, because I don't want to say something which is not,
Bye.
I want to say accurate here. Nag Hammadi. This is in Egypt, and I traveled a lot in Egypt. I even know the site where it is. It's near the temple, Dandara temple, which is super amazing, a female energy, very magical place. By the way, female energy was so much more adored. That's another problem with the new religion, that they put us out of the balance. All the gods are always male. The father doesn't make any sense, because we all came from a womb. Even the person who writes about the father came from a womb. So this is really wrong, actually. But Nag Hammadi is in Egypt, and they found there this Gnostic. This is historical fact. It's not my thing. They found there this in a sealed jar, these old scripts, from like ancient, like Coptic Christians, like who were persecuted, the Gnosticism, and it's so different. What they saw is completely other way around than what, for instance, the Catholic or any Christian belief or system, what we know now today, is totally going the other way. Actually, even they talk about the archons and the demiurgos, and they say, like, basically the God, this Yahweh, this angry God who is sitting in the clouds with the big bird, or whatever you picture it, or in the Jew or Hebrew tradition, that's basically an evil entity. It's not I'm saying this is what the Gnostic says.
No, you are an
and
encyclopedia.
it's written there, that you feel free to Google it. And the demiurgos is this who is the creator of this reality. That's what they say, and that's a really evil and bad person, a bad god. And so basically, we all these temples, everybody, according to the Gnostics, is kind of actually adoring Satan. I'm sorry. And if you look at it, the word is really sick and wrong. I really don't go to politics, but just look at these files coming up today. I just heard that Prince Andrew was going to prison today.
Yeah.
So this is, this kind of things start to make sense, even what the Gnostic says, So yeah, but I really don't want to go into that, but Gnosticism is something interesting about Christianity. So that's kind of like putting it in a very different perspective. And I encourage everybody who is into Christianity to read about this Nag Hammadi codexes, which were written in ancient Coptic language. Coptic Christianity is huge in Egypt. I've been to Egypt more than 10 times in my life. I travel there all the time. I love the old civilizations. So I think it's quite interesting that Christianity also kind of comes from there, by the way.
I have to go to there. Yolanda have visited, but by the way, I want to ask you about your beautiful T-shirt. Can you show us your T-shirt? It's a mix of veganism and venom. Your T-shirt?
What is that?
Your T-shirt.
Your T-shirt.
Oh, my T-shirt.
Yeah, it's
the vegan.
Yeah, it's
and
nice.
Venom. Fantastic crossover thing.
Yeah, but I like Venom too. Actually, I was asked to play with their 45th anniversary show, play a song with Venom. And they approached me. That's a great honor, actually. And well, they are older than me, but I'm one of the oldest too. No, I'm a Matusalem. You're like a Matusalem of black metal too.
No, not yet.
Okay.
But
Good.
that reminds me, have you ever used real blood in concerts?
No. It's a theatric blood. And even the skull is like this. I used before. Morty, can you close that? Or you need air? Ah. It's um, it's the skulls are like the skull I'm using is made by an artist, and also like it's a replica of a real skull. But before I used also like what you buy for like studies, you know, when you are a medical do medical studies. It was a prop like that. And before I even use real skulls, but of course, I mean, I don't see much problem with that because I knew their origin and they were like at least 500 years old. So, I mean, it's okay. And I
Yeah.
always feel a big respect to them. But obviously, I can't use them anymore. And I mean, to travel with that these days, it's just
Yeah.
that's not working, you know. And but hero that I had, for instance, there was a show in Hellfest. We had a whole altar of like that real bones, real human bones.
Do you have another interview later?
I don't think so. I don't know. Do I have a? No, but you guys can go on. I didn't see any other interviews. I think there was
Okay,
another
so
one from
keep going.
before.
Okay,
You
perfect.
can
Because
keep going a little bit. Yeah. I can try to be a little bit more focused with my answers if you want and
no,
make it shorter.
it's really interesting, I have to say. But okay,
Okay, cool.
I continue. For most of the press and fans, Attila Xigar is the voice of black metal. And I think
Oh,
it's really
th-
authentic
Yeah.
sentence.
thank you. Wow, that's
You don't
amazing.
agree?
Well, I my first show was in '86, you know, I was 15. Now I'm almost 55 and I've been doing this constantly. So yeah, I'm one of the pioneers for sure. And my philosophy is I take care of my voice and my body, like my body is my instrument, and I studied like vocal techniques, which I'm using constantly on stage. And in that sense, yeah, I think I'm pretty much there. Yeah, but I still appreciate it. But in the same time, I mean, I don't want to sound like an egoist here or anything. You know, I
No,
think there
but
is
I
a lot
mean,
of other great
if
artists.
it's true, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
How do you remember the Mysteries Dome Satanas? Because we think it was like the Rosetta Stone of black metal. So after all these years, how do you remember and what that album means for you?
It was like it had already great expectations when I was there. That was the first time I joined Mayhem in '93 when I was there. You know, I mean, I heard from the guys like in '91. And I remember when I first heard that Rush album was something, but it was more like a funky stuff, you know. But when I heard the new stuff, I was like, hold on a second, this is something super, truly amazing. I never heard anything. So that time it sounded very futuristic, by the way, that music, and and something I never heard before. Hellhammer's drumming, the riffing of Euronymous, everything was very unique. And there were big expectations, but of course no one could foresee like it's gonna make that big impact. So I feel honored to be part of it, of course.
It is
It
mandatory
was
for. Oh,
sorry? No,
no,
I'm just
it,
saying it was yeah, I was like 22 when I sang on
Yeah,
that
young.
record, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all younger, of course. Pretty young.
part of history, and it is mandatory for me to ask you about your opinion about this book, Lords of Chaos. It's
Uh what
it's
what is it?
Lords of Chaos.
Lords of Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have it, and I just saw it, and I don't think I'm even. I'm not in it, right? Do I? Am I in it? I don't know. I think once
Mm,
someone told me that I was not even appearing, so it's not that accurate, I guess. I don't know what to say. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, whatever. But I know they interviewed a lot of people. It was like, but you know, it's some guy's opinion about the scene. Then again, can't say much because maybe it's cool. I never read it. I even don't have that book.
I'm gonna say that because Jordi is very humble, and he's not gonna say this, but he write a book, and I think MAYHEM is in the book.
Yeah, it's about
You did?
shock rock. Yeah, but and about all the bands that tried to bring to enhance the shows with other things that were not only
The music.
music,
Mm,
theater,
cool.
violence, everything you can imagine. And my hymn is in
Hmm.
this book. I wrote about you. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's amazing.
But okay, you haven't read the book, but there is a movie. I think it's amazing
Oh,
that
yeah.
somebody
Hmm.
made a movie about your band. It's just for a period of the band because I think Mayhem Absolute.
Exactly.
Uh,
That I
or-
saw, of course. And that is just because the Lords of Chaos book, I think it's about a lot of bands, that the movie is just about us. And well, we withdraw from that, we had nothing to do with that. Actually, we didn't want any movie, to be honest, because, okay, this turned out all right. I think at least the filming and stuff, the story is a little bit like it's again from somebody's perspective. Like there are characters who we don't know who they are, still. And so it's a little bit made up on based on the story, but it's not really an accurate thing. And I mean, the most interesting for me about it, like my son plays my character,
Huh?
and that came, yeah, and that came like out of nowhere. I even didn't know. Like I was on a tour, and when I came home, and someone called from the family, guess what? Your son will play you. I'm like, what? What are you guys talking about? And turned out they shoot the movie in Hungary. By the way, in Hungary, there's a big film industry. So the movie was made in Hungary, and my son is actually he's a director, but he's been acting. He was even teaching. He was a teacher at the drama school. So they found him in this kind of database or in this, I don't know where, some agency or somewhere was listed his name. So when they were looking for other people for the movie, they found him and they approached him. I was actually in a South American tour. I didn't even know. So, but of course, then I was like, okay, do that. But again, I became friend with the director, Jonas Åkerland. He's cool, actually. He used to play in Bathory, and he was, I think, the drummer of somehow like a member or in the beginning of the band. He played the drums in the career of the band. He's cool, and I tried to tell him that, let's say, Jonas, it's great you guys doing this before the movie, because actually it took some time until the movie came out. I don't know what happened, but the movie was shot like, I can't tell you exactly which year, but then it was like 2, 3 years when it came out, actually. So I have no idea what were the problems, but it was kind of on the edge, the whole movie, I think. And I told Jonas, like, listen, you should understand we are a functioning band. We are not like Sex Pistols when they made like Sid and Nancy. The band was already kind of gone. For us, it's our life, and it's not good for us if someone makes a shitty movie about us, and the fans will think like we sell our asses, sorry to say, but like for some Hollywood crap, and that's not good. And so I think he understood. So anyway, it's not
Okay.
really accurate. Like for instance, my scene when my son sings, it's actually not like how it was, because I was in that time actually I was in a dark room. I asked for pitch black and I put candles around myself and no one could see me. When I told this to Jonas, he said like he wished like I would tell him earlier about this, but I was like, yeah, that's what it is. So anyway, that movie is probably all in all, luckily didn't harm us. That's a very good thing. More like probably helped us. But what I hear from kids, they don't like it, but everybody watching it. So it's okay. Everybody sees Like that's what I heard from young fans, like
Yeah.
it's kind of not good, but still everybody watching you. It's kind of must to watch still, so it's okay. We survived.
I want to ask you, it's a bit tough question, but do you think there are some part of the public or the medias that only remember the controversial years of Mayhem, for example, the beginnings of 90s, even 30 or 35 years later?
What you mean? I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
I mean, do you feel, well,
Some part of the press always focus in the beginning of the
yeah,
band.
in the 90s or the
Ah,
controversial
yeah.
history of the band?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody is free to think or say whatever. I don't like to hear actually when people think we are live on the past because it's not true. Like, look at our discography. Like, look at the
Yeah.
Grand Declaration of War. It was from that point of view, it was a kind of suicide. It went completely against of what logically would you do, And anyway, I think that album at least it opened a lot of new. At least it was artistically free. It's a great album, but it's nothing to do with the past, And also, if you see some other band albums, even my one with me after was Chimera, Ordo at KO was also people were respected it, but it was like still very different, very hard, hard to access. Esoteric warfare was about like mind control techniques of the world and the evil. Like basically, actually, I hope that it was not true what I was talking about, but like talking about Prince Andrew, unfortunately, I was right. I just did researches, a lot of researches, and made lyrics based on this really crazy so-called, not really conspiracy, because they were like, I tried to go fact check, but I was like about MK Ultra and this mind control techniques, which were like really, really evil. And that album is about that. Again, it's about darkness, but it's very different from the past, So I would not say that and even the tone of the album, maybe the the Diamond album was a little bit be consciously because we had this whole Mysteries Dom Satanas tour before. I guess that's affected us. So we made that record, which was like a little bit like going back to the roots. But that's it. But that's like 30 years after, or
Yeah.
something. So I think so people can say and write whatever they want. They're free to do that. But I think the fact is that we didn't try to leave from the
No,
past at all.
congrats for handle with this, because I imagine that sometimes it's also difficult.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry,
Bye.
guys. Just give me a second because
Yeah,
this
yeah,
pen
yeah.
is there another pen here?
Of course.
This pen is, I have so much stuff to sign in the same time, but this one is wrong. Okay, I keep going. Do you see any other pen? Yeah. This is wrong. Just hold on, give me a second. Here, yeah, cool. I dropped. Okay, I found another one. Excuse me. Thank you for, yeah. So we can go on. Yeah, please.
Thank you for your
Feel
time.
free.
I have to say that probably this last album is the is when you sing better than in your entire career. You
Oh, thank
sing
you.
different, a baritone voice sometimes, but I want to ask you
Mhm.
about the other two singers, Maniac and Death. How do you see them as singers?
I mean, they have their own unique style, I think that was great, especially what he did in Morbid. I prefer that actually, those vocals he did there. Maniac had also this high pitched style. I think it was cool, and his lyrics are particularly good. So, and he was a great frontman too. So, I don't know. We are different. I like to use my voice, and now people inspired me. like use my voice, the full spectrum. Like I mentioned, this album Esoteric Warfare, it was a bit less. I didn't do so many variations, you know. On the last two albums, especially the last one, Liturgy of Death, I was like, why not? Okay, let's use whole spectrum of my voice, you know. It's it's cool, and also it's not just to show off, you know. It's what the music requires, you know. Esoteric Warfare, I really wanted to make it cold and alien, you know, like this alienated, and this is more a classical record, so to say. You know, so I use my voice in a bit more classical way, if one can say, you know. So yeah, I'm just signing nowadays, you know. Great artwork. It reminds me to the Prado Museum a little bit, you know. It's really cool. I mean, I really don't want to compare those artworks that were like, oh, so amazing, mind-blowing. So
And Goya fits
yeah.
perfectly with your art.
Yes, definitely. He's amazing too. I don't know that the Goya room is like that dark, simple, pure dark atmosphere. So I was there with Mikael, our technician, you know, and we both were like, no, we have to go back. We spent some time in the room and then we left, and it like we missed something. It was like a dragging force, you know, like pulling us back to that room. It was pretty interesting. I loved it.
Yolanda, by the way, let's go for our four last questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, we are also collaborating with a magazine in Spain called Popular Uno. I don't know if you heard about this.
Not really.
The longest magazine in Spain. Anyway, we are really
Cool.
proud of this also. But we are asking all the people that we interview about the most perturbed films that you have ever seen that really impact you. So you can say to us 3 horror films or films that you feel like, you know?
You couldn't sleep
Film?
at night.
Film?
Yeah.
You say
Yeah.
you mean films? Films.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Thing from Carpenter. I love John Carpenter. The Thing is, I think, one of the best movie or horror movie of all time. I also like that They Live from him, of course, but The Omen was really great, you know, with Gregory Peck as a life changer for me. So it's like classics, you know. And I don't know, the first Evil Dead was great. But for instance, I like The Gladiator, you know, so it's not just horror movies. I think The Gladiator is a great movie. And yeah, with Russell Crowe. And yeah, I don't know. There is, I have to say something quickly.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay.
And
Okay,
also
cool.
interesting,
Cool.
the singer of Blackstone Cherry also answered The Thing.
Yeah.
When I asked
by the way,
film.
by the way, I think Matrix was interesting. It's cool. Matrix was cool. And also, yeah, Keanu Reeves is a great actor. And the Matrix was very interesting. I think it's might do something with the reality, you know. Eyes Wide Shut.
Of course.
That's crazy.
Eyes Wide Shut.
And yeah, and what else? I like Star Wars when I was a kid with the Force. The Force was cool, you know, but that's more like my childhood in the 70s, you know.
Let's go for a really difficult one. Which is the first album you bought, but with your own money?
The first one was, I think the first one was Judas Priest, Unleashed in the East, in 79 or something, when I was already into hi-fi. And I got a vinyl player, thanks to my parents, a Pioneer, the PL6, I even know. And it's still my passion is hi-fi and music. So I don't have even a TV at home. I have a hi-fi, you know, and I listen to music. And if I want to see something, I have a projector, but I had to set it up, my home cinema. And if I watch a movie. So yeah, that was the first album I ever bought. Judas Priest Unleashed in the East, a live album. Really
Okay.
cool album, by the way.
I need to ask this also. If you imagine that you have
Please.
all the money, infinite budget for spend in a show, which trick would you like to do on a stage?
Fire,
Which
lasers,
what?
Trick.
lasers, smoke,
Yeah, some
fire,
trick on a
what you
stage.
want.
Ah, yeah, I could have like a lot of holograms, you know. I could have like I have some ideas, you know. I would make like a three-dimensional stage with holograms, you know, like I don't know, like ancient Egyptian or some great structures, you know, and sculptures appearing, and maybe even burning churches, you know, some songs or whatever, you
Ooh,
know,
that would nice.
holographic stuff.
No, but
Yeah,
not
I mean,
burning.
symbolically, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
Okay, have you ever cried?
Holograph would be cool. I think I think they have. I heard about this ABBA show in London, and they built a venue, and ABBA is playing every night, 2, 3 shows sold out
Who?
because it's a
Sorry?
hologram.
Ah, okay.
ABBA, the band from Sweden, but I saw some pictures. They look like real. It's crazy.
Because I attended to one that was kind of imitating Dio and was not so good. So it's still under development.
Exactly.
No, I think you need a special building. So they built
Yeah.
it, a
Ah,
whole
okay.
venue in London for that, you know. I never been there. I just saw some pictures. It's pretty intense. And if we would have holograms and AI and stuff, maybe we could invite band members who passed away, Euronymous and Dead would be cool to have
Also,
them on
Ozzy
stage, you know.
Osbourne, for example.
Ozzy Osbourne on a Mayhem stage, why not?
Okay, Attila, have you ever cried in a concert? Uh, have you ever cried in a concert? Do you remember the band and
Uh,
the song?
mm, well, yeah, it's maybe not crying, but it's sometimes very emotional. Uh, Many times almost most of the times I try to invoke our past members who passed away. Not only Mayhem, of course, Dead and Euronymous, but sometimes I think about other people like Joy Jordison was a good friend of mine, or Jon Notveit, you know. Sometimes I invoke them, actually most of the time, in my mind. Sometimes I whisper their names in the set, you know.
Nice.
But that's just part of my little thing. It's not really for the people to hear it necessary, you know. It's not part of the show in
Yeah.
that sense. It's more
Okay,
like
let's
my
go
personal thing.
for the last questions. What if a
Yes.
festival could pay a lot of money for a Mayhem show, but you have to play with Varg Vikernes? What would you do?
I would say no, probably, personally. It's just like because I hate politics and it's not worth it, you know, and
Yeah.
I can share that, you know. However, I think actually he is a good artist. He made some good music, but the rest I can just deal with, and I can't have politics in my music at all involved, you know. It's simple like that. It could be
Have you been in
anything.
contact?
I can't agree with. No,
Okay.
no, I haven't talked to him since then. But that time we were friends, but that time he were a completely different person.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
Yes, so Attila, we really enjoyed the interview. Thank you for dedicating us almost 1 hour. So if we can ask you only a favor, 10 seconds saying, hi all, I'm Attila, singer from Mayhem. Please check out my interview for Stairway to Rock. Stairway to Rock.
What's as Way to Rock? Okay.
Stairway to
All right.
Rock.
Stairway to Rock. Okay. Yes. So I say now, right? Hey, this is Attila from Mayhem, and thank you for the interview. And check out Stairway to Rock. from Spain, and salute the Spanish friends and the Spanish fans and the great artists like Goya and Bosch, Euronymous Bosch. And by the way, you guys from Barcelona, I will play there with my other band, Tormentor. So
when?
you guys should check it out in August. And we were talking maybe another show in Madrid, but I don't know about that. But for sure, we're gonna be in Barcelona. There is a festival.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know which.
Manguales?
It's 26, 26 maybe.
It's in August, I think. It's Manguales, the promoter. Yeah. I will be there.
Do you have something in UK?
In UK, yes. In UK, I will play in London on the 2nd of May with the Bloodfire Dead, the battery cover band.
Ah, bueno. Okay. I will also take part of
You
this.
are there?
Yeah.
Are you there? Okay, cool. It's an incineration festival that I know. And
okay.
and you should check Tormentor. It's my first band from the 80s. It's the same lineup
we
from
had
87.
the question
crazy.
also.
We had questions about Tormentor too, but it's
okay, feel free.
No, the biggest new is that you are coming in Barcelona and probably in Madrid. So
Yes.
it's we know that you are still working with Tormentor.
Yeah, and I have some new projects too, actually. I have one with Igor Cavalera. It's like an experimental band. It's gonna be cool. I have something going on also with Risturber from Frontline Assembly. So these are like very different. Even with Igor, it's gonna be experimental music, not so much metal, you know. He is very good at electronics.
Also with Century Media or not?
We don't know yet. We just had a few shows, like try out, you know, and we kind of made some like a program, you know, with Igor, and people loved it so much, so we decided that we should keep going, you know, and have this on the side. But we are both too busy. That's the problem. We don't have time. but we're gonna play for sure here or there. So the same with the Reese from Frontline Assembly. He had a side project called Wheel, which is very cool because it's industrial music, but with a lot of occult and spiritual element. But I always miss from industrial. I think all the industrial bands are like into military or, I don't know, techno or future or cyborg or whatever, you know, like even Skinny Puppy was more like a bio thing, which I still love. But very few bands were into ritualistic stuff, and we do something like that.
You are a box of surprises.
Yeah, it's a lot of side projects he has.
Yeah. It's always good to have those. I wish I would have more time. That's the only thing.
Okay, so we will try to be in touch. Okay, so thank you very
Feel
much.
free. Thank you.
Yeah, good show tonight. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. All the best. Bye.